Cook. We'll go out of DT and go back in.
There we go, the live stream is finally showing up for me. Good evening everyone, and welcome to the 6th round of Season 13 in Division 2. My name is NLRPhoenix1 and I am joined by Jonathan. Hello.
Hello, Felix.
So, we are here for another exciting Grand Prix here in Division 2. We've got a pretty sizable good 17 cars for tonight's race, so it should be a good one. Of course, we've already seen the Division 1 race a few days ago, and I would say that was a very enjoyable race. A Ferrari 1 and 3, what you love to see.
Should have been 1-2.
Right, thank you Marcelio. Dry and dry, so no rain for tonight's race. It is all dry in both quali and race. Which is, I would say, nice to see. I don't think I would want to have rain at a track like this. You race here about once every 3 decades. There's barely any leagues doing this track really, so I think it's hard enough already in the dry. Just because, I mean, well, the track itself, I mean, look at the runoff. It is not that hard to not crash, but the actual layout, you can very easily make a mistake here or there and have a spin. It's just very hard to actually DNF.
Track limits also a big problem here.
That is true, track limits, especially I would say in the first sector, are tricky. Especially also heading onto the long straight, the Mistral straight as it's called. And here we go, the first drive on a lap, Lucas in the Red Bull. He'll be our benchmark for everyone else. The target time that we set for a VA Division 1 level lap time was a 1:30.000, so nice and round, you could say. Anything below 1:30 is a Division 1 level time. So we'll see how many drivers that we can get in Division 2 tonight who are at that sort of level. Of course, purple in the first sector, but it didn't look entirely clean from Lucas. A few tank slappers, bit of oversteer here and there, having to correct. But it's now on the Mistral straight, heading down into the chicane. Doesn't cut it all too much on the inside there. Now the second part, very nicely taken onto the power. And in Sector 2, that is a 50.694. A few other cars on laps already. Pinky, Sully, Owais, Desi, and Kucho all out on hot laps at the moment as well. But we'll stay on board with Lucas as he finishes his lap. In the final sector, just a few more corners to go now. So we get into probably the most tricky corner of the lap, I would say, turn 12. Very, well, mid-speed you would say, 3rd or 4th gear. Have to get the car rotating and as early as possible back on the power. As we now head into the final corner. A lot of lap time to be lost in this final sector. It's definitely the most technical section of the track, I would say. And now coming to the line for Lucas, that is a 1:30.660. And immediately behind him is the McLaren of Owais, who's coming at the final corner, a 50.6 in the middle sector. So that I think is faster than what Lucas was doing, but not by too much. And in the end, he's actually a bit slower, 30.739. Next car on the line will be Pinky, and he puts in a 30.024, almost in the 129s. We've got the Alpine of Pocho, 50.2 in the middle sector, and I would say Pocho is one to watch for today, because I do remember Pocho in the past always being very strong at France, but of course that would have been previous F1 games, so F1 22, F1 21, which of course, once you go into a new game, all of that can change. Sully with a 30.4 into second, and as Pocho comes around the final corner, is he able to take pole position here? It looked like a clean final sector. At least to me, and it's a 130.198. Still, no one the 129. I thought twice now I got well, not scared, sent into thinking it's a 29, but then both Pinky and Pocho missed out closely. But I think there we go, Gabriel just put in the 129. Yes, 29.611. That took a bit of time to load. Seemingly Gabriel's internet having a bit of a stroke. Closest to finishing a lap, I believe, is Sean Moore, who just went past his teammate Ewek there. In terms of the championship, after last week's race, there have been a few developments on that. Kevin is now leading on 82 points, with Sean on 70 in second, and Kucho in third on 61. After that is Bazooka on 41 points. Sean goes into fifth with a 30.441. So yeah, the main drivers to look out for still Kevin, Sean, and Kucho. And I would say Bazooka has an outside chance, 41 points behind. But after that it's really, really tight, so I wouldn't count out anyone yet at the halfway stage. But yeah, the main favorites definitely are Sean, Kevin, and Kucho. And just to say that Kevin coming up the final corner here to start his first lap of the session. I'm gonna check if anyone is maybe close to finishing lap, but I don't think so. Furthest along on a hot lap right now might actually, I think it's Kevin. No one else is on a hot lap at the moment, I think. So we'll just stay on board and watch him going around the Le Castellet circuit. I have to admit, not my favorite track on the calendar. Neither on the F1 game or in real life. But still, the French Grand Prix, a historic Grand Prix with, for good reason. I mean, the word Grand Prix, it is a French word after all. Formula 1 was, in a way, invented in France, or the Grand Prix at least. And for Kevin, that is a 50.1 middle sector, so a pretty decent time there from him. I think that's a bit slower than what Gabriel was doing, but faster than what I thought. I remember Pinky, Pocho, and Sully doing. So he might be on course for a Ferrari 1-2 here. If he's just able to nail the final sector as well, and so far it looks very good what Kevin is doing here. Very clean, early in the power everywhere, getting good exits. And now into this final section, into the final corner. Stay off the curb on the inside for the perfect exit. And now the DIA is open and up to the line. What will it be for Kevin? That is a 130.075, very close between him himself and Pinky. But in the end, Pinky ahead by 51 thousandths of a second. We've got Desi starting his first lap of the session, as well as Marco. They're quite close together, both going through Sector 1 right now. I saw Alwise as well, he's 95 thousandths down in the first sector. We'll see what he's doing in the second. He is now 52.4, 1.8 down. I think this will be a cooldown lap. Apart from that, still a few drivers without laps. JM, Dimceris, Desi, Marcelio, Ewek, Marco and Bazooka all without laps, and Wayno actually retired pretty early on in qualifying. Not sure what happened there. Marcelio as well now coming around turn 1. 50.4 for Marco in the middle sector, and for Desi it is a 50.9. We'll stay on board with Marco as he goes through this final sector. Marco, of course, always one of the drivers to look out for as well. He's been up there, but I'd say he's a bit inconsistent between different races. Can be either outside the top 10 or right up there, or anywhere in between, really. So it'll be interesting to see where he slots in today. And for Marco, that is a 130.255, and he's into P5. Right behind his teammate, 4th and 5th for the two Alpines right now. Desi's back in the pits, he's not going to finish his lap. Marcelio invalidating his lap. And now on board with Dimceris. First time that we're seeing him race today as well. both Dimsters and Wayno, new to the league, joined today actually. So it'll be interesting to see how they stack up against this Division 2 grid. I'm not sure if Wayno is actually in the lobby. I think he left after he DNF'd. Well, yeah, we'll have to wait and see if he can get back in. Dimster is now in the final sector here as well, coming around turn 12. Because as early as possible back on the throttle and now into the final two corners. The final, final chance to gain any bit of lap time right at the end. Didn't look the best of final corners, they're a bit loose on the exit and over the line. That is a 1:32.214, but 1.5 seconds off the next car, so not an ideal start. We've got Ewek as well coming around turn 6 and 7 here onto the Mistral straight. Pinky is back out on track as well, but he 1.1 seconds up in middle sector, but invalidated. Okay, I'm assuming he's just fully ignored some track limits if he's 1.1 seconds up on a lap time that's already in P2. Kucho as well on a lap here. Currently in 9th, because can try and improve on that. He wants to be right up there at the front, he needs to be right up to the front for his title ambitions. At the moment, Sean in 7th, Kucho in 9th. Great news for Kevin. But Kucho around the final corner, is he going to be able to improve on that 30.7 and go up a few positions? It's a 1:29.5. Yes, he can. 1.2 seconds gain in jumping all the way onto pole position. Sean as well, up by 2/10 in the first sector alone. We've got Ewek coming around the final corner for his first flying lap of the session. Currently in 15th without a lap. And over the line it's a 30.908, 11th position for Ewek.
Sean 5 tenths up now.
So Sean on a really good lap as well, and be in 29s if he matches his sector 3 from earlier. But maybe he can go even faster. Right now Gabriel and Kucho definitely setting the pace, 29.5 and 29.6, the next fastest car Pinky on a 30.04 tenths off Gabriel and 5 tenths off Kucho. So we'll see if Kucho can slot in between them, or maybe even onto the front row or pole position. Of course there's still 5 minutes to go, probably one more lap for everyone left in the session. And for Sean over the line, that is a 1:29.840 indeed, right in between Gabriel and Pinky. We've got Bazooka on his first lap of the session. Dr. Bottom earlier, he joined Division 2 mid-season. He's now running in 4th of the standings, 50.0 in the mid sector. He's been doing very well since he joined. Hasn't picked up a win yet, but he's picked up consistent podiums in both Baku and Monza. So he's been quietly working his way up the standings. And if he can continue doing so, he might actually still have an outside shot at that championship. But it's going to be a tough guard. He definitely needs to pick up some wins and hope that Kevin, Kucho and Sean all drop some points for the rest of the season. And over the line for Bazooka, that is a 1:29.799, a very strong lap into 3rd. Joining Kucho, Gabriel and Sean in the 1:29s. Now we have Desi on a lap. A purple middle sector, but well, the way purple works in this game, it is purple compared to the top, not the top, the 5 drivers you see on your top left. So for Destiny that would be Wayno, Marcelio himself, JM and Dimsterus. You always did the 2 ahead of you and the 2 behind you. And the purple means that he is the fastest in that sector out of those 5 drivers. So at the very least, he will be faster than the guys there inside the lap and Dimsterus. And over the line that is a 1:30.758. P12. Pretty close there with Allwise, but not able to go anywhere higher in the grid. Marcelio once again on an invalidated lap. He's been invalidating a lot of laps so far in the session. Now with Kevin starting his final lap of the session, 3 minutes to go. Currently on a 30.075 in P6. Of course, going to want to work his way up the grid a bit more. I mean, P6 still towards the front somewhat, but obviously you want to be right up there. Oh, and Kevin! He's gone wide coming out of turn 5 there, and that's the lap over. He might be able to have one more go if he...
if he has the fuel.
Yeah, if he has the fuel, he'll be able to go one more time, but of course, the extra lap driven around on those tires will mean a bit more wear, and that will of course cost him some lap time. We have 2.5 minutes to go, so final chance for everyone.
Yeah, I think it's Dismers that'll be Dimster. Yeah, he'll be first up.
Yes, and hopefully there won't be any traffic, because there are a few cars coming out the pits right now. But I think Dimstris has gotten into a nice little gap here. There's a car coming out the pits right in front of him. And that is terrible timing. Yeah,
very poor.
That was one of the Alpines, and that would have been Marco, I think. Since she's just come out the pits. That was not ideal whatsoever, and that is Dimstris' lap ruined before it even really started. Bazooka trying from the pits, so he is not going to improve in that 29.799. The first car now over the line to start the lap will be Sully in P9, immediately followed by Kevin. And after that, the McLaren of Owais. Everyone has gone out very late. Pocho is still not gone out. Pocho is going to miss the line. He's not going to improve. Same for Desi and same for Marcelio. None of those guys are going to be putting laps in. Here we go then for Sully. 30.431, his previous best.
That looked very good through turn 1 and 2.
I went on board right after turn 2, so unfortunately I missed that part. But through 3 and 4 also very good, and now a nice line into 5. He's really opened that one up. And yes, indeed, Sector Time confirms that he's up by 2 and a bit tenths. So Sully doing well so far on this lap. Let's see if he can keep this going. Quick look at Kevin as well. He's invalidating again! That is Kevin's qualifying over. He will be no better than 6th, a 30.075. And of course, drivers behind him might still be improving, might still beat him and move him further down the field. And for Sully in the middle sector, that is a 50.068, 3.5 tenths up. So he's scratching at that 129. Can he beat the likes of Kevin, Pinky, Pocho, maybe even Sean? Or maybe even more, we'll see. Very early in the power, coming off turn 11, lost speed carry through as well. And now into the final 2 corners. The final chance of Sully to gain a bit more lap time. Didn't look ideal, I think. Yeah, down to 3rd gear there, and now through the final corner. All in the power, he's just tapped that curb on the inside. And over the line, that is a 129.954 P5 for Sully. Pinky's invalidated, so is Kevin. Marco's invalidated. Lucas up by 2.5 tenths. What about the front runner? Sean up by 21,000 in the first sector. Gabi up by a tenth in the middle. Kucho down by 1,000 in the middle. Gabi is close to the line, so we're still with him. Can Gabi steal pole position away from Kucho right at the end? Can anyone pull out a surprise lap right at the end as well? There's a car right in front of Gabi. That will be the AlphaTauri of Pinky, I believe, who goes into 6th. And Gabi, a new fastest time, 29.487. And Kucho is invalidated. Sean is the only one, really. Marco has invalidated, and Dimseris, he's also still trying. So it's Dimseris and Sean who are still going. Sean in 4th, 29.8. Can he beat Gabi's lap time right in the end? Dimseris coming up to the line, so we'll stay with him. 75,000 down in the middle sector. Low on ES as well, so it will cost a bit of lap time. And over the line it is a 132.025, a bit of a time gain, but not a position gain. Sean up by 66,000 in the middle sector. He might beat Bazooka, but I think it's not enough for Kucho or Gabri. 29.634, 2 tenths gain in the end, but he goes P3. And that is qualifying over. It is Gabri on pole, followed by Kucho and Sean. And very close there.
Qualifying for Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin, I mean,
lost out by not getting a lap at the end by invalidating. And
yeah, he's still 7th at least. It could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
Surprised Pocho, he only did that 1 lap. I feel like if he'd gone out again, he might have been a lot further up the field, but, well, Gabri pole position over Kutscher by 15 thousandths. The tightest of margins here in Division 2. But yeah, Gabi's put himself in the best position for the race. And followed by Sean in third, 29.634. Bazooka in fourth, 29.799. Sully in fifth, 29.954. Pinky in sixth, 30.024. Kevin in seventh, 30.075. Always in eighth, 30.132. Pocho in ninth, 30.198. Marco rounding out the top 10, 30.255. Ewag in 11th, 30.537. Lucas in 12th, 30.660. Desi in 13th, 30.758. And then the final lap time was actually put in. Dimsris in 14th, 32.025. JM in 15th without a lap. Marcelio in 16th without a lap. And Reno 17th after retiring immediately from qualifying. A very close qualifying at the front there, and I think we are in for an exciting race for sure, looking at those gaps. I don't see any clear favourite, but of course, the ones at the front, you would put more of a chance on. But as we know, anything can happen in Formula 1, and it usually does. So then, here we are on the grid. Sorry?
Which commentator said that? I remember hearing that.
Murray.
Murray, yes.
Of course, who else would it be? Well, here we are on the grid. Drivers just making any final adjustments to the strategies. It should be a one-stop, mostly, I think. Probably hard mediums. I'm not sure about the medium soft. If that is viable. Of course, it will all depend on safety cars, which I'm gonna say I don't think we'll have any safety cars today, because I don't see how you could possibly put a car into a wall at this track. There's miles and miles of runoff. I see no reason why there should be a safety car. But we'll see. Maybe someone finds a wall that is actually close enough to the track that you can actually hit it. And here we are then. We are on the grid. That is the 5 red lights on. And lights out, and away we go. Gabi with a decent start there. Kucho is alongside someone on the outside there. Gabi, of course, moving over, covering off, and a great second start phase of Gabi as he's fully pulled away. We've got 3 wide in turn 1 at Sean around.
Oh,
as he was side by side with Kucho and Sully. And I think both Sully and Sean around there. In fact, yes, they're both at the back. Together with Lucas, so Lucas might have been collected, but that is 300 cars. Pocho as well, I think, has dropped down. So yeah, Sean, Pocho, Sully and Lucas involved in a star crash. Not great for those 4 guys that now have to make a massive comeback all the way from the back. But Gabi with a brilliant start. He's already got Kucho almost off the ERS range, who himself got Bazooka almost off the ERS range. Marco following closely behind Pinky, and Sean is out! Sean is out of the race. It's a full core safety car on the very first lap.
Wow.
He really wanted to prove me wrong about there not being a barrier that's close enough. But that is
inside 50 seconds.
an absolute nightmare for Sean. And a huge hit to his title ambitions. He was already 12 points behind Kevin. He's now out of the race. Yeah, that is the worst possible outcome for Sean in this race. He now needs to pray that Kevin and Kucho don't have good races. Can have a quick look at the tires now. Mostly mediums, hards for JM and Desi, softs for Wayno, everyone else on the mediums. And I think most people are going to be staying out under the safety car. Maybe the ones towards the back. Pocho's in, Sully's in, and Lucas is in. Of course, those 3 had start crashes, so they might have wing damage. And indeed, there is a wing change for Pocho, but the other 2 seem to be fine. So Lucas and Sully with a tactical stop onto hards, Pocho with a wing change also onto the hards. But they're now going to catch back up to the safety car queue, so they haven't actually lost anything from the stop really. I mean, Pocho has lost 2 places, I think, since he was ahead of both of them before. But yeah, that safety car has really helped them in this race, bringing them back into the fight. Of course, they still have to go through all of those cars, but at least they are now back in the field. I can't believe I said there will not be any safety cars, and within quite literally 7 corners, there's a safety car. We hadn't even got halfway around the lap. To be fair, let's go with Pocho here. How close is that wall, Sean? He's crashed into the wall on the right-hand side. I mean, that is quite far away.
There must have been contact.
Yeah, I mean, how do you crash into that wall? But yeah, Gabriel leading the field will probably restart at the end of lap 3. I don't think it's going to come in this early. What's going to be interesting to see now is what those 3 guys in the back who now made their pit stops are going to do with that. They could go to the end in terms of regulations, but are the Hearts going to last a full Grand Prix? Or even if they do last, is it faster than just making a pit stop? Tough to call. I think if I was in their position, I would probably pit again. Of course, later on, not right now. Just to make that clear. Because I'm not sure that Hearts for the full 27 laps is the way to go. It could be a gamble. I'm not sure how much time you actually lose in the pit lane. I think it's quite a long pit lane here in France. Well, Lucas and Pocho swapping positions. Seems to be some disagreement. Pocho goes back ahead. And back behind. What is going on? Have we decided now that Lucas gets to stay ahead? Because I'm pretty sure he was ahead after the pit stop, so... Okay, I think it's sorted. But yeah, safety car should be in end of this lap, and Gabri will be conducting the restart. Right now, Ferrari and AlphaTauri both in great positions. First and 6th for Ferrari, second and 4th for AlphaTauri. That is what they're gonna be loving to see. Their teammate right up there. Of course, those two being our main contenders for the constructors as well. Ferrari on 118 points, AlphaTauri on 91. Next closest will be Williams on 77, then Mercedes on 66 on 67, and then Alpine on 63. But it does look like the constructors fight will be down to mainly Ferrari and AlphaTauri. Well, I hope this is the last safety car of the race. There we go, safety car in this lap. I would like to be on the green flags for the rest of the race to have something to actually talk about. I have to admit, I did not prepare for a safety car period today. I did not expect any, or if there would be any, it wouldn't be many. Or at least it would happen a bit later into the race, so there is something that happened in the race that is worth discussing. A lap 1 safety car is always horrible for a commentator, especially if you haven't seen the crash. I don't even know like what happened to Sean, if he just spun on his own, if someone took him out. There was the crash at turn 1 between Sean, Sully and Cucho, which I guess Pocho and Lucas got collected by. Gabri stayed very close to safety car, so he's gonna have to go very late here. If he goes too early in the game, we'll slow him back down. Safety car is now back in the pits, I think. So you could go now if you wanted to. We'll see. He's gonna wait even longer. We're already on the main straight. Now he's finally gone. And Cucho has reacted very well, but I think Gabi might just about be fine heading to turn 1. Marco, though, alongside Pinky, on the outside, into the chicane here. Is he gonna try and stick it around the outside? He is not. Pinky gets ahead and Marco sticks behind for a little while longer. Over now, Marco having a look once again. No. Not a corner you want to make a move at. So all staying the same at the front. Or throughout most of the field, actually. Wayno dropping back there. I think he's an AI though, so he's just gonna just drop back against everyone, really. Marcelio and Ewek battling over 11. Jonathan, is left the session. And there's
Don't know
been
what's
a
happened
bit
there.
of lag there because of that. Gabi has just lost 2 places, and there's another safety car! Another safety car.
Have I
Dimstress had a
something
crash.
there? It just disconnected me.
Yeah, you're out the lobby and something has happened. Dimstress is no front wing anymore. I think you leaving has just made someone crash.
Oh.
Well, that's why we have the no leaving rule. Obviously, I know it's a technical issue in your case, so I'll invite you back in.
Thank you.
Wait, I can't find you. I'll just do it through the party. So all of the front runners still staying out. I think actually almost... Yeah, the only car who's gonna come in here is Dimcerus, since there's no front wing on Alfa Romeo left anymore. And I'm guessing a pit stop onto hard as well. Probably go to the end. And the hard compound tires on the Alfa Romeo, so those should be able to go at least for a very long time. Did you get the invite I sent you?
Yeah, I'm just loading in now.
Quite surprised there actually was a safety car because no one DNF'd. There was only Dimcerus without a wing. But usually safety cars don't get called out unless someone is actually out of the race. So thankfully that hasn't cost anyone too much. It has cost Gabri 2 places. He's dropped behind Bazooka and Kucho. So he will now have to fight his way back through them and back into the lead of the race. Safety car should be in end of next lap, so we'll hopefully then have green flags to the end. Second time I've said this in 5 laps. How at France of all places had we spent the first 6 laps of the race under the safety car? And this time Bikucho leading the pack and conducting the restart. What these safety cars have done though is definitely made the medium-soft strategy not just viable, I think the way to go. Because the tire wear on those mediums will be very minimal at this point. I mean, they've done probably half a lap on lap 1 and then half a lap on the safety car restart. So they've probably done one actual lap of full speed running, and the rest have been crawling behind the safety car. So they won't have a lot of tire wear at all. And of course, the same then goes for the guys that made the pit stops on lap 1, as well as Dimsrud who made his pit stop under the last safety car. It will make it easier for them to go to the end on those hards. So yeah, just less tire wear all around the field. Gonna have a quick look at the position changes maybe. We'll see if anyone has made up... Marco has made up a lot of places. He's up into 5th already from P10. JM and Marcelio 6th each. They came from 16th and 15th into 10th and 9th. And the biggest loser of the start was Sean, of course, who is out the race and has lost 14 places. But the actual, in terms of who's still in the race, is Sully. He's dropped down to 12th from 5th position. Gabi as well, he's lost 2 places from the lead of the race, he's now down to 3rd. But of course he was in P1 until that second safety car was called. which should now be called in as we enter the final sector. There we go. Perfect timing, just as I say it. Safety car in this lap. And this time Kucho will slow down the pack and decide when to restart the race. The entire field will bunch up behind him and just wait until he decides that it's time to accelerate. We'll see if he waits as long as Gabri did. Gabri, of course, going very late on the last restart, already after the final corner. And Kucho is staying similarly close to the safety car. It's, I think it's a bit further away than Gabri was, but not all that much. So I think this will once again be quite a late restart here. Warming up those tires now. Getting ready. Safety car's in the pit entry. So I think he could go out the final corner, or maybe even right here. He's already going quite fast, not full race speed yet. And now out the final corner, I think. Yes, Kucho's gone. And he has caught Bazooka off guard. No, not too much. Bazooka is right behind him, not quite close enough for the move, but there's Pinky all over Gabri heading to turn 1. And on the inside line, can Pinky send it on the Ferrari? He's gonna try it. And Gabri does manage to hang around the outside, but of course turns to the inside for the second path chicane, and Pinky has to back out. Gabri staying in third. Marco is now closed in a lot thanks to that little battle. JM and Desi having a quick battle as well. JM coming out ahead, and now up into 8th. Desi into 9th. Heading onto the Mr. Straight. Oh, Marco, bit of a mistake there. And that might invite Kevin in to have a go. No, Marco's still far enough ahead. But it has cost him a chance of maybe making a move on Pinky into the chicanes. Oh, the chicane. It's only one. We do have Ewek here on those mediums. Chasing down Marcelio up ahead of him. And Pocho, a little tap on the back of Sully there, getting a bit loose. Now overtake enabled. Is this the chance for Pocho to make the move up into P12? Doesn't seem like it. Sully has defended that well. Gabri closing in on Bazooka. He's burnt a lot of ERS on this race. That's already down to 35% compared to Bazooka, 87. So about 50% more ERS on the Aston Martin than Gabri has in the Ferrari. And now it's showing Bazooka has pulled away significantly already. The gap back open to 7/10. Bazooka staying very close to Kucho. And once that DRS is enabled, I think Kucho will be in big trouble if he wants to keep that position. Fast lap the race coming in from Gabri. But no moves happening down the main straight. Everyone is just calmly following each other, waiting for a mistake perhaps with the car ahead, so that they can pounce and make up those positions. Pinky is struggling a bit to stay with Gabri. He's about 8/10 back. So it does seem like these front three of Kucho, Bazooka and Gabri have got better pace than everyone behind. At least in the early stages of this race. That can all still change, of course, although Gabri has burned so much ERS. He's burning even more now. Is this enough for the move on Bazooka? He's up the inside into chicane. And there we go. That's Gabri back up into P2. He moves back onto the racing line, and Bazooka tucks in behind. I feel like he could have defended if he tried. He's not going to burn the overtake, but he backs off. He does see Gabri flashing now, so now he knows that Gabri's low in ERS, and he knows Gabri's vulnerable. We'll see what he decides to do with that information. If he waits behind patiently anyway, or if he maybe takes a chance next lap. Marcelio and Ewek side by side into the final sector here. Into turn 11, Marcelio going very deep there, and that allows Ewek to take a position. JM gets a penalty meanwhile. 3 seconds for multiple warnings. Sully round the outside of Marcelio into turn 12. What a move! And he's made it work. But now running to the back of Ewek, having a go at Ewek as well. Sully! A beautiful double move. First past Marcelio and then past Ewek as well. Ewek, Marcelio still battling into the final corner. Pocho trying to find a way around them. He's now got past Ewek there. Beautiful battling here at the outskirts of the top 10. As Pocho now goes up the inside of Marcelio into turn 1 and takes P11. Him and Sully moving through the field together, making their comeback work. So now heading back onto the Mistral straights. DRS will be open for the very first time in this race, finally on lap 9. Penalty for Lucas, multiple warnings. Can Gabri make a move on Kucho? Can he reclaim the lead? Yeah, he's gonna go for it, up the inside, and that is Gabri back into the lead. It's taken only 2 laps, but he's burnt a lot of ERS to make that happen. Both Kucho and Bazooka, especially Bazooka, have way more left. And Sully just keeps making those moves up into P9. A great restart from Sully. Pocho following closely. Kucho is back past Gabri. Kucho back into the lead. So he's not given up on that one at all. Desi closing in on Sully. He is going to go up the inside here. But Sully does go cleanly around the outside and stays in 9th. Yes, he does. Next car for Sully to chase is his teammate. JM was about 2 seconds ahead. Pinky has found a bit of pace, it seems. He's now a lot closer to Bazooka than he was to Gabri earlier. But this train of the top 7, from Kucho to Owais, staying together. All on the medium compound, so they're all running the exact same strategy. I'm guessing a medium soft with those 2 safety cars. That should be the way to go. I don't think we'll be seeing any of these guys pit to mediums. To pit to hards. Well, all mediums. I don't think we'll be seeing either of those 2 options. A 2-stop would be certainly an interesting choice. Pocho now with a move on Desi, and it's up into P10. Next car for him will be Sully. Yeah, although he is barely within DRS still. Pocho and Sully still just working their way through the field together. Gabri, once again, past Kucho into the chicane. Flying past with DRS. He's got a bit more ERS than last time. I think he's been saving. Marco with a time penalty, 3 seconds. For multiple warnings. Bazooka still just conserving the ERS. He's being very patient here. Doing a great job of just managing this race. Owais up into 6th. As he gets past Kevin. He is just outside 1 second to Marco right now. That'd be crucial if he could get back in there and secure the position against Kevin. Of course, if he doesn't have the ERS, he might be vulnerable down the straight. Kucho still all over Gabri here, only 2 tenths behind. And it might be on for a re-overtake heading into turn 1, or maybe waiting for the long straight at the middle of the lap. Although only one of those straights actually has DRS. There is no DRS after chicane, interestingly. Probably because it's leading into a high-speed corner. So the FIA doesn't want speeds getting too high into that particular corner. That's the explanation now I think of. Or maybe they just don't want people battling into that corner. Either way, no DRS after the chicanes, or the chicane, only before. Ewek and Marcelli were having a quick battle into turn 1 here, and Ewek has come out ahead, although Marcelli with a switchback is going to fight back against the Williams. He's up the inside, sends it in there. Although Ewek does hang it around the outside, and he is ahead of Marcelli for now at least. Although I'm sure Marcelli is going to try and get back at him. Now Bazooka using a bit of the overtake that he saved up earlier, but still not quite enough for the move. But Kucho does make the move on Gabri. Bazooka up the inside of Gabri as well. Gabri losing 2 places in 1 corner. As Desi's made a spin. Yes, Desi with a spin coming out of turn 6 there. As Pocho and Sully are having a quick battle as well here. Pocho up into 9th. He's past Sully. Jonathan, you still there? You've been very quiet.
Yeah, I am. I just didn't want to butt in while you were doing all that because my internet was still a bit bad.
Fair enough, okay. Just making sure you haven't died on me.
No, don't worry.
We've got Ewek Marcelli side by side. There's battles all over the field right now. I'm struggling to keep track of everything. Oh, pit stop!
You into the pits.
Okay,
Bazooka
so
and Marco.
Bazooka and Marco Kevin will be going for Harslan. And Kevin, okay.
So can the undercut prove powerful?
Yeah, undercuts for all 3.
Div 1, but that was only a lap or 2. This is going to be multiple laps, up to 8 laps maybe. Because the softs won't last too long here.
It depends if those guys are actually going for softs. They might now decide to cover them off and go into hards next lap as well. But interesting that I didn't expect these guys to pit for hards. Crucially, Bazooka has come out just ahead of Dimseris, while Marco and Kevin have come out behind. So they will have to...
That is important.
Yeah, they will have to make that move. That will of course cost them a bit of time. His Dimseris is on slightly all tires. Gabi back past Kucho. They're just swapping places every single lap it seems. Kucho might get Gabi back immediately. Good exit out of chicane. Slipstream of course now, but I think Gabri... Yes, he's pulling away. Gabri with a bit more straight line speed. as they are both not using overtake, and with the slipstream still, Gabi is just pulling away. So Gabi with lower wings than Kucho for sure. Marco's gotten past Dimsrus already.
Both of them catching up to Decky as well.
Yes, of course, Desi is not too far away from Bazooka right now. We'll see if the front runners come in now. Gabi, Kucho, Pinky, and Allwise. Gabi's in.
Gabi is in.
And so is Kucho.
There's contact.
Yeah, Kucho has cut the pit entry and then made contact with Gabi, so if someone reports that is definitely a penalty.
Yeah, that's Stonewall.
That is exactly why we have the rule about the white line, why you have to follow it. Hard tires for Gabi.
I'd say Gabi shot himself.
Hard tires for Kucho as well, yellow flags.
For Dismers, I think.
I think Nimsus, yeah, he's going slowly in the final sector here. So, where are these guys gonna come out? Surely behind Bazooka. With the undercut. Yep, there we go, Bazooka has taken the effective lead. Kucho is coming out right behind Desi.
Just ahead.
And Marco as well, he's now joined this fight in the front. Kucho's gone off.
Gone very deep.
And that might allow Gabi to make the move on Kucho now.
Jeez, they're both burning their ERS here.
Gabi up to 12th and Kucho up down to 13th. But now all three of these guys, Marco, Gabi and Kucho, stuck behind Desi as Bazooka is out of the ERS range. This worked brilliantly for Bazooka. Exactly what he wanted with that undercut.
I wonder will any of them try the softs now, or will they just follow each other?
I mean, the ones who are still out, Pinky, Allwise, JM, and then Marcelio and Ewek haven't pitted at all yet. Lucas, Sully and Pocho pit on the lap 1 safety car. I could see some of those guys go for softs. I wouldn't be surprised, because if you're gonna go for hards, he would have pitted by now.
Yeah,
at least that's what I think.
The last lap to try. Pinky is in. Allwise stays out. I think that's the last lap to attempt hard dives.
Yeah, so Desi's been overtaken by all three guys. Kucho with a brilliant move on Gabi there. Catching him napping mid-corner. And back up into 11th. These two just are constantly battling. Pinky. And that will be hard compound tires for him as well. Two seconds now between Marco and Bazooka. Bazooka is in a perfect position here. Pinky's gonna come out behind Gabi, I think, but in front of Kevin, crucially. Actually side by side with Gabi coming at the pits, but of course on those cowl tires he has no chance of making that move stick. So that would be Gabi up into 11th. But Pinky's actually done quite well. Despite being undercut, he has stayed, I think, where he was before. I suppose he was helped by Desi being right in front of these guys and holding all of them up. Allwise now 5.5 seconds ahead in P1. Of course, still the pit stop make Desi with a spin. And he will drop behind Dimsrus here. Already a massive group here from Marco to Kevin. And they're all chasing Aston Martin from the Bazooka, the effective race leader. The top 7 still either with pit stops to make or a very long stint. Oh my god, Kucho!
That is a very aggressive move.
Yeah, that's cost him. Contact made. I mean, it was tough to say whose fault it was. But that is Kucho around, and he lost a lot of time from that. I
didn't have a great angle of it, so
I didn't either.
Whose fault it was.
I mean, it's a flat out corner. It's still like Kucho could have dive bombed him, so he must have been there at the corner entry. But it's tough to say from the angle I had. I didn't properly see it, so I'm not gonna give a judgment from what I saw in like a split second from a bad camera angle. But yeah, either way, whoever's fault it was, Kucho has lost out massively. Desi's in the pits now, so he will drop to 15th, where he already was. Penalty for Lucas and Kucho. Both 3 seconds. Pocho close to Sully here and maybe can slingshot into the DRS of JM ahead. 1.4 behind JM. They've been chasing him for a while now. And Pocho does get past Sully up into 3rd position. A safety car right now would be absolutely brilliant for everyone who hasn't pit yet. Lucas passed by Bazooka. Bazooka up to 7th. Gabi gets past Marco. Gabi up to 9th. Sully and Pocho still battling. Ewek and Marcelio still battling. There's just a few grooves all over the track that we have to keep an eye out for the entire time, basically. Always still hasn't made a pit stop. I think lap 15 is about where you want to pit for softs, I think, if I remember correctly. Lap 15, 16, I think that is the sort of area. Ewek, I think he's in. He does get a 3-second time penalty for going very deep at the pit entry. Lucas in as well. So, I'm guessing they're both onto softs now. Lucas might be mediums. Yes, mediums for Lucas. And for Ewek, it has to be either hards or softs if he wants to go to the end. Hards for Ewek. So he's gone... What was the point in going 15 laps? You're gonna go hards anyway.
That's an odd choice.
Penalty for Desi, 3 seconds, added to his final race time. We've got Pinky chasing back of Marco here with a bit of a slide coming out of turn 6 and out to the long straight, but he's got a great exit. Slowly back past Pocho, into the chicanes. Bit of contact made, but still yes, come on ahead, but they've both lost on time. They opening up that gap a little bit once again. Gabri eating into the 2-second gap with Bazooka. He is pushing for his life to get back into the lead as of the Aston Martin. He is not too far ahead, you can still see him. It's only 2 seconds. So it's very much possible. Pocho and Sully still with an almighty battle here. I really should just keep my cameras on the battles happening on track sometimes. Still no pit stop from Always, I think. No, there we go, Always is in.
The two Mercedes stay out and Pocho stays out.
Marcelio also in now.
Looks like it could have the pit lane, but...
And there we go, finally someone's come for the softs. Soft tires for Always. He was in that leading pack, so we'll see how far behind he is. The pack in question, of course, Gabri, well, Bazooka, Gabri, Marco, Pinky, Kevin. And Kucho as well, but Kucho thought the spin. And Always he's come out close behind Kucho. So now we'll see if those fresh soft tires against the slightly worn hards, 10 laps to go, can Always make this work. I think he has a chance. I mean, there's a lot of cars to go through as well. But in terms of distance, he isn't too far away from the podium positions. And I think that's what we're aiming for. Pocho with a send on Sully, gets it stopped and gets ahead. Aggressive move, but he's pulled it off. Worth mentioning, Pocho and Sully could be going to the end. Oh, Gabi seems to be having some internet issues again. He's dropped behind Marco and Pinky while he's ghosting there. Not ideal whatsoever. Gabi is being plagued by those. Yeah, all season.
I'm not really sure what happened with Pocho and Sully there, but Pocho lifted off the throttle a lot.
Oh! Contact between, Pinky and Marco. What a save by both of them. They're both still in the race somehow. Sorry for interrupting you.
No, that's okay. I'm just saying Pocho lifted a lot going into the fast right-hander, and both of them lost a lot of time.
Yeah, and Sully's in the pits now.
Because it was at the same time Gabri lost out.
Sully onto softs. So, okay. Sully then not going to the end. Pocho might be. I'm not sure. He hasn't made his pit stop. Only 9 laps to go. If those hards can maybe last the entire lap. Entire race, sorry.
Always needs to try getting to DRS of Kevin as soon as he can now. He could get it here.
Yeah, it's close. DRS detection point is after turn 6 here. I think he will be just inside.
Yes,
I think he's just about made it. Yes, he has.
Yes.
So he will now be able to close in on Kevin and maybe make the move on the next DRS straight.
Has Marco and then Pinky's also there.
No, Gabi actually doesn't make any moves. He's backed off all of it. Always is now very close behind Kevin. He might be able to make a move heading into turn 10 and 11. With a great exit there, and he's just going to fly past Kevin. Kevin is not going to defend that whatsoever. He knows there's no point.
Big scrap here for P2 at the moment if the rest pit. We'll have to see what happens with JM and Pocho.
Yeah, JM has to pit because he hasn't made a pit stop so far in this race, I think. Yeah.
He does
Pocho,
pit. He's in now.
There we go. Pocho can go to the end if he wants to. This scrap is great for Oweiss because, of course, these guys fighting will lose some time.
Yeah, he might get DRS this lap if they keep scrapping.
So JM in now onto fresh softs. He's probably gonna get undercut by Sully.
Fastest lap for Oweiss.
Yeah, makes sense. Oh, Gabby and Pinky scrapping into turn 1 there. Gabby's come out ahead. And Oweiss is now into DRS range of Marco. And he's now finally in this group. And this group is fighting for P3 on track already. And, I mean, at this point I'm thinking Pocho's gonna try and go to the end here, because if he wants to pit, he would have done so already. He might be in danger of a puncture at the end, so this is gonna be very interesting to see. I don't think Pocho's gonna be able to win this, because Bazooka is already quite close on 10 lap fresh tires. But we'll see what he can hang on for. The car, I would say the car to compare him to would be Sully, since they were on the same strategy and Sully decided to go for the pit stop. Pocho's gonna go to the end. So if Pocho beats Sully, that is a success. As Sully makes a move on JM up into 9th. Gabri chasing after, he's closing in on Bazooka. It seems like Gabri is the fastest car on track, but he just keeps getting into battles, keeps losing positions due to lag.
And then, the internet.
Yeah, and then losing the time that he needs to Bazooka.
Am I right in saying me disconnecting lost him the race lead?
Yes, but he got it back very quickly. So that,
Okay.
it's not like that was the only factor. As Oweiss is now battling Marco on the main straight, maybe? Marco doesn't have the
Marco
ES, so
doesn't
this
have
should be an
DRS.
easy move. Oweiss up into 5th on track.
Marco was the first of these runners to pit, excluding Bazooka.
Yeah, so his tires
He went
are
in
the
with
oldest.
Kevin and Bazooka. So they could be starting to feel the pain of that.
Yeah, but I think the same will go for Oweiss in the end. His tires are gonna go off somewhat, while these hards should be probably fine.
Yeah.
But he's now close at the back of Pinky. He doesn't have much ES, but neither does Pinky, and Gabby doesn't have any whatsoever, to be honest. So, similar situation for all three of these guys. They are very low in ES. Have a look at Bazooka, about 25, Pocho about 20. No one here has any ES, it feels like. They have all just burned through everything. Yeah, the first car who actually has some ES left is Sully, and he's in 9th. Oweiss is gonna see
I
Pinky
wonder
flashing, and he knows.
The two Mercs catch up to Kevin and Cucho.
Yeah, the two Mercs on those fresh softs are worth keeping an eye out. That's a good point. Marcelio not too far behind them either on 3-lap old softs.
Cucho does get ahead Kevin going into sector 3.
Oweiss is being careful here from the final sector, doesn't want to get involved in any sort of incidents with Pinky and Gabby. He's waiting for the DRS, I think. But he can't wait too long if he wants to go for the win here. Which I think he has a chance. If he can catch Bazooka, and Bazooka isn't too far ahead.
And yeah, Bazooka's obviously just 1.7 now from Pocho.
Yeah, I
So-
think Bazooka is the I'm gonna say Bazooka is definitely gonna beat Pocho, so it's all about whether Gabri, Pinky, and Oweiss can catch Bazooka. Because those tires on Pocho are so old, he is just gonna drop back like a stone for the rest of this race. Penalty for Lucas once
Another
again.
penalty.
Bazooka is almost in DRS to Pocho, just about outside of it. He's opened the gap to Gabby up a little bit again. Now Oweiss can he
And
get a good
Oweiss
exit?
will have the run on Pinky here.
He needs to. Pinky's burning
The
overtake though.
second phase, Pinky's gotten a good exit.
Yeah, I
into
think
this race.
Pinky's fine. Yeah, Oweiss is stuck behind him for even longer. But Pinky is gonna go for the move on Gabby here, maybe. He thought about it.
A dummy.
That's hurt his exit somewhat. Maybe a chance for Oweiss. No, Oweiss is still not close enough. Oweiss is still stuck behind here. And he's been
Bazooka
stuck here
will
for
get
2 laps
DRS
now.
Next lap.
He
He'll get on
needs
the
to get
DRS.
past. He can't be stuck behind for this long. He is just losing time behind these two. He is significantly faster on those softs.
The two Mercedes swap.
Jay and Sully only 3 seconds behind Kevin. They are chasing to be back on the side.
We'll get the first insight as to how Pocho can defend from Bazooka. as
Yep,
Bazooka
Bazooka
is
is
now in
now
DRS range.
close
Which is
enough.
Bad news for Gabri
Yeah, I
and
mean,
the rest of the training pack.
Pocho might
training
hold
pack.
Bazooka up as well, we'll see. That could be good news for Gabri as well.
True.
But for sure, Bazooka's gonna try his best to get past that Alpine as soon as possible. He knows he has got 20 lap-old hard tires. They're gonna be screaming for help. They'll be at about 60% already, probably, if not more. And they are gonna be utterly destroyed. But Pocho's done a very good job of hanging on to the P1 so far. 5 laps to go. It's gonna be a tough ask for him to hang on to, for that any longer. Penalty for Marcelio. Pocho
Yeah,
is
here
not
comes
burning ERS.
Bazooka.
Pocho lets Bazooka go. He is not gonna go for the win. As Pinky makes a move on
Pinky's
Gabri,
ahead.
always is way behind. So yeah, Pocho I think is aiming more for maybe a podium, maybe a top 5. He has pretty much
If
given up on the
Pocho
race win because
can-
he has just let Bazooka go. He knows
If he
doesn't have
hang
much of a
on to
chance there.
DRS, he can possibly stay in the podium.
Yeah, but he's actually staying
Maybe
with
it's a bad
Marcelio
thing.
somewhat. He's not dropping back that much. He's doing very well there to stay so close to Bazooka.
We saw in Div 1 on Saturday how powerful being in that train was.
Yeah, you gain a lot of
Gained a
time
lot
with
of
the
time
ERS
with
open.
Cars behind. Ooh, bit of a moment from Bazooka there, but it's actually helped him.
Bazooka has not gotten Pocho out of the ERS range, so Pocho is still in the fight actually. When I got past, I immediately counted him out, but maybe I was wrong to do that. Pocho is doing very well. Has he burnt overtake? Not much. He's a bit lower than Bazooka.
And Jay's gotten past Kevin.
Okay, Jay has dropped Sully as well. They were together earlier, and now Sully is 2 seconds behind Kevin, while Jay has already made a move on him.
And Jay's right behind Kucho as well. Could be a P7.
Yeah, I'm keeping my eyes on Owai still, but he does not seem to be making progress. He's just stuck in that P5.
Pocho just about hangs on to DRS this time around.
Yeah, well, he's
And that
low
will
ERS
gain him
already.
a lot of time. Like from 9/10 to 3/10.
As Gabri makes a move on Pinky, back up into P3. JM is too far back against Kucho to make the move, but maybe down the next straight. If he gets a good exit here, that might be his
He's
chance.
right all over the back of Gabri still. But he's not going to be able to do anything here.
JM now to slipstream, sends him the dummy, and to the inside he switches. And that is JM up into 7th.
The fresher tires doing him wonders there.
Yeah, I think
But
the
there's
soft strategy was the way
still
to go. I
about
think
DRS.
Owai could have won this race if he had just been a bit more aggressive with the moves. He's just been too careful, too cautious against Pinky and Gabri. Of course, that's easy for me to say from a spectator's point of view. When you're a driver, yeah, being cautious can pay off as well. I mean, if he had gone for an aggressive move and he crashed, we would have said, oh well, should have been more cautious, you know? So, in hindsight, it's always easy to say, but he's now alongside Pinky. Is he gonna send it into the braking zone? No. Has to cut the corner as well to leave
Okay.
Pinky's space.
He's
And now he's
gone.
lost it! He's gone round! That is unbelievable timing. About 5 seconds after I say he should have been more aggressive, but well, if he had been more aggressive and crashed, we would have said should have been more cautious. Well, he's gone for the move, and he's spun. And he's now into P10 at the edges of the points.
Pocho's still hanging on.
Pocho, what is Pocho? How is he doing this? 22 lap
22
hard.
laps.
10 laps more on those tires than Bazooka. As JM makes a
And
move
he's still
up the
riding
5th.
the curbs as if he has new tires. I wonder if that's going to be hurting his tires, because obviously
Nah,
the
not in
tire
the
wear in
F1 game.
France is not exactly kind.
The F1 game isn't that realistic. You can just go
Okay.
all over the curbs and it doesn't do much damage to your tires.
But either way, 22 laps, they've got to be screaming at him at this point.
Yeah, I mean... The thing I'm wondering is, what is going on inside Pocho's head right now? What is he thinking, I want this win? Or is he thinking, I'm gonna just stay behind Bazooka, let him carry me along to secure a podium? Because, I mean, right now he's keeping the gap to Gabri thanks to probably the DRS assisting him. But it's not like he is miles off Bazooka. He might have a chance in the final lap if he can just keep this pace. But the question
they've
is...
sent him into ERS too.
Yeah, I mean...
So
Yeah, he's a bit lower than Bazooka on ES, but not massively. They're both... Yeah, Bazooka 25, Pocho 20. Desi's out!
oh, Decky's retired. It's a bit late for a safety car.
I think it won't be a safety car because we're on lap 25, so he's fine. Well, yeah, but Desi isn't fine, but it's fine in terms of safety cars.
If that was a lap sooner, I think it could have come out.
Yeah, that would have been amazing for Pocho. That would have put him right in the fight.
And with the pace he has on these sides, I imagine would he be on fresh softs.
Yeah, I mean, I told you, Pocho is very good at France. I didn't think he'd be this good because this is... I can't understate how impressive what Pocho is doing right now is. 23 lap old!
Oh, he's made a mistake.
Thank God he's not spun. Imagine the commentator's curse. I've done it a few times this race now. But his tires, at this point, they're probably at like... Surely they're at 75 at this point, so he could get a puncture any second, in theory.
If he gets a puncture, that would be
Depression.
heartbreaking.
That'd be... please. Just let him go to the end. He's probably not gonna win. Yellows in sector 2.
That is Dismers.
I've immediately checked Pocho, but he doesn't have a puncture, we're fine.
Well, he is in sector 3 to
But I think Dimsdorf has a puncture, does he? He's overcorrecting on the wheel a lot. Oh no, he doesn't, never mind.
No, I think he's okay.
Dimsdorf as well has been on those hards for 20 laps. Just hasn't been on our radar as much as he's not running in a podium position. And a 10-second penalty for corner cutting. What has he just done? Mark with a move on Kucho, up into 6th. JM is chasing after Pinky, but he does have the time penalty of 3 seconds to his name. Which will...
Pocho may lose DRS here.
Yes, he has lost DRS.
Yeah.
So that is the dream of a raceman over, I would say. But there's only 1 lap to go for Gabri.
That's a lot of time to gain in just 1.5 laps.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like Gabri's tires are fresh either. He has done 13 laps on them. I mean, Pocho has done 24.
I mean, it's nearly double.
Yeah, I've said Gabri's tires aren't fresh and Pocho almost has double that. So, how those tires are still in one piece is a mystery to me. But I mean, I said compare Pocho to where Sully is, and... I mean, well, Sully was with JM, so I guess compare Sully, Pocho to where JM is.
I was just listening to the revs through the right-hander. Gabri flat out and Pocho was lifting like crazy.
Oh yeah, he's crawling on the track now. Gabri is almost in DRS range, but I think Pocho will just about hang on to P2 because Gabri won't get DRS in time. I think Gabri would need one more lap here.
DRS down the next straight.
JM has now joined the fight for P2. He has in DRS range for Pinky and Gabri. With the penalty,
the tires.
There is not much of a chance.
25 laps.
That is absolutely insane.
He has 0 ERS, Gabri is 0 ERS.
If Gabri gets into the DRS range, he might have a chance, and he is so much faster in these corners. I think Gabri still has a chance of stealing a P2 here, but Bazooka has the race win wrapped up pretty much. He just needs to bring it home for the last lap without any sort of mistake. It is all about P2 here. It is Pocho against Gabri and Pinky.
Pocho's crawling through the corner.
Pinky might have a go at Gabri here. He's close enough, I think, to have...
DRS anyway.
Yeah, no DRS for Gabri. He is low DRS, and here comes Pinky. Overtake enabled, DRS open, and he's gonna fly across the Mr. Straight to the instant of Gabri. They're side by side into the chicane, and that is Pinky up into 3rd. And he has gotten ahead of Gabri.
Marco had a Kucho behind as well.
JM now against Gabri, trying a move as well down the 2nd Mr. Straight. But I think Gabri on the inside line should have the advantage, although JM I think with the better tires. Oh, they're side by side still into turn 11, as Pinky of course is closing in on Pocho. JM and Gabri fighting hard over this P4. And Kucho and Marco out! On the last lap they've had a crash together. As we are heading into the final corners, JM has gotten ahead of Gabri, but might have a penalty. Pocho has 1 more corner to go. Can he hang on against Pinky? It is so close, but I think he's just about done enough. Trying to P2. Bazooka with his first race win in Division 2. A brilliant drive from him. Brilliant strategy. Pocho as well. What a strategy, what a drive. Amazing. Pocho into P2.
Got past JM.
And Pinky... JM with a penalty. That's a penalty. And here we go then. That is the French Grand Prix over Bazooka with his first race win in F1 Total. The undercut, gotten out of the ERS and never to be seen again. Made the move on Poggio, who went from lap 1 until lap 27. It wasn't quite enough for the win, but it was a brilliant, brilliant drive from Poggio and a P2, a very well-deserved P2. My driver of the day for sure.
Who my driver of the day is, yeah.
It is Poggio, there is no question. I mean...
26 laps.
That is incredible. I'm going to need to know what tyre percentage he had at the end, because they must have been wrecked. Pinky in third, the last lap move on Gabri, brilliant battle there all race for those front positions. Gabri in the end on fourth, he'll be very disappointed with that. I think he was the fastest car for sure today. Just unlucky with the lag. That kept dropping him back to it, never close to get Bazooka again. JM in fifth in the late pit stop. A solid comeback as well there. But what a race, that was something to behold.
Yeah.
And Poggio, the game agrees.
Gave some excitement.
Poggio, of course, with a lap on incident as well, I think. He dropped to the last position. That's why he even paid the lap on pit stop. He had a wing damage.
But it is, of course, Bazooka who wins the French Grand Prix.
Yeah, can't be understated as well.
A little bit.
Yeah, we're giving Poggio all the space, but Bazooka's performance as well can't be understated. He is... I noticed early, and he kept it very calm. When Gabri was making all of those aggressive moves, burning all his ERS, Bazooka was saving, just sticking in third position in that DRS train. Very reminiscent of what you would see, like, high-level league racers doing. It is something that you see quite often when you watch PSGL, F1, F2, F3, F4, like those top-level drivers. They don't go for moves. They just stick behind and wait. Save their ERS for the last laps. And Bazooka has done just that. He was very conservative, very cautious, but he made the move when it wasn't needed, when he had to make it. So unlike Allwise, who was stuck behind for Pinky for so long, Bazooka, when he got behind Poggio, immediately went for it. Of course, Allwise, he was stuck in the DRS train, a bit more of a difficult situation, but that's the difference I'm trying to explain here. Bazooka, a very intelligent drive. Exactly when he needed to, he pushed, and exactly when he needed to, he was being conservative and just sticking to the DRS train, because what we saw Gabri doing quite a lot is making those moves happen, and then it's getting re-overtaken because you have no ERS anymore. So, like, for example, being ahead at lap 13, 14, 15, unless you can actually pull a gap, it is totally irrelevant. The only thing that matters is being ahead at the end. So, if you are close enough on pace that you cannot get out of the ERS range, you might as well just stay behind, save your ERS and wait until the end, or wait until the pit stop phase, when you can make the undercut, burn some ERS and get out of the ERS range, and then everyone else behind is battling until the last lap, and you are simply, just 2-3 seconds ahead the entire time, just managing that gap. Great drive.
Yeah, as you were saying, the undercut is what I think has won Bazooka that race, because he got out ahead of the cars at the right time. It was literally to perfection for him. It couldn't have happened much better. And then the other cars behind him got stuck, lost DRS, and Bazooka was able to manage his pace, manage the gap, overtake Poggio, and get this race win.
And to add further, just drama and incredibleness to the Poggio story, look at his screenshot, or his photo that he sent into the Division 2 chat 2 minutes ago. His wheel stand broke during qualifying, and he has been driving with a broken wheel the entire race. So yeah, that is the wheel clamp that attaches the wheel to the table. So he's been driving with the wheels only attached on one side properly the entire race, and he's done that. That is incredible.
I mean, if you ever decide to start putting driver of the days in the league, now's probably the best time, because that is such an impressive drive.
Well, I hope you all enjoyed this race. I certainly did. That was one hell of a finish as well. Yeah, next race will be at Japan. So we'll see you for Division 1 on Saturday at 7:30 p.m. As well, next week, of course, Japan as well in Division 2, same time as always on Wednesday. And in the realistic division, our next race will be at Qatar. So that will be on Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Have a nice evening, and see you next time. Goodbye.
Goodbye.